the best acting I've ever seen in my whole life.
Like you. Rick fucking no.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was directed by Quentin Tarantino. Finally, this movie came out. I was really excited for this movie. It's every once in a while that we get a movie that doesn't follow the traditional route that we usually expect a movie to follow. This movie doesn't really have a story. It's more about our characters' lives as the movie goes on, and I found it very interesting as the movie went on. After the movie, my friend said to me, the movie really had no story, and I was thinking the exact same thing. This is not a traditional movie, and we're at the point where we kind of expect this from a Tarantino movie. This is always the first, I don't know what I was saying there. Alright, 3, 2, I'm gonna restart that. 3, 2, 1. This is also the first Tarantino movie I got to see in the theater, and so far, I haven't seen them all, but this is my favorite of his. So, yeah, I just really enjoyed it. A couple of other things I liked about this movie were the chemistry between Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. Their performances are excellent. They escalate this movie so much, and I can't imagine anyone playing these roles. It's like anyone else like playing these roles, it would just seem like, I don't know, weird to think about. It's like the MCU, like Iron Man, you think of Robert Downey Jr. when you think of Iron Man. You think of Chris Evans when you think of Captain America. When it comes to this movie, you really think of just Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt as these two main characters, and they just do such a great job with this movie, and I really gave a shit about them throughout the whole thing. This is one of the most unpredictable movies I've seen so far this year as well. I was always curious to see what was going to happen next, and this is one of those movies where like I haven't seen like anything like this since like, I don't know, it's just I really wasn't expecting like anything that was going to happen during this movie. Much like Midsummer, and I did not like Midsummer, but that movie, one thing I really loved about that though is like I didn't really know what was going to happen, but that movie took it to the point where it was just too weird. And that was from the director of Hereditary, which I love Hereditary. I think it's a great horror movie and a great family drama, but I'm getting really off topic. Yeah, Midsummer just wasn't that movie that I really liked, and I'm talking about Midsummer a lot because I didn't do a review of that because I didn't even want to do a review for that. I just didn't know what to say about it. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, this movie you really don't predict what's gonna happen, much like Midsummer, which feels very fresh because I hate when you're watching a movie and you just like expect everything that's gonna happen. I can name a few movies, but I don't really want to spoil any of them. So yeah, I just love the unpredictable. I can't say that word, unpredictability. I don't know, I can't say the word, but I thought they did a great job with that. The final act of this movie is incredible. I won't spoil what happens, but I loved every second of it. I'm not even going to talk more about that final act. It's mainly the last 30 minutes, but still, that's why I consider the final act. And I thought it was handled like greatly. But yeah, I won't talk about any more of that in case you haven't seen it. So yeah. As someone who's always wanted to be an actor as well, I was constantly engaged by all the behind the scenes stuff that our main characters are in. I've wanted to be an actor for years, and just stuff like this really like gets me interested. I love stuff like this, and I am just realizing like right now, like as I'm making this, that like my voice is a little sore. I felt it before the movie and it went away, but like somehow it just came back. So like I'm like my voice is kind of like cracking a little, so hopefully you're not bothered by that. But I thought all the behind the scenes stuff was riveting. And I had a great time just watching these characters like act within a movie, and just watching them, like those characters watching themselves on screen is just like, it feels very unique. And I love that about this movie. There's a scene in this movie that happens in a trailer where Leonardo DiCaprio loses his shit, and I loved it. Then my friend made a joke about that. He was saying like one of her teachers, like basically this is what happened. So one of my teachers just like lost his shit on this kid in my class. So my friend goes over and whispers to me that one teacher's name, and I was like laughing my ass off. It was so funny. And there's about like 7 minutes of the movie that leads to this one joke, and I thought it was great. I heard about this before, but like before I saw the movie, but like while it was happening, I thought he was gonna do something else, but no, what he did was like I thought it was really unique, and it was really funny. I love the ending, and that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say about the ending. I loved it. Yeah, that's I don't want to get into any spoilers at all. So yeah, this movie isn't flawless though. Even though I wanted it to be, some of my issues with the movie are. Even though I love that this movie takes time for the better, it can drag during the second act, and you could feel the runtime piling up on itself, and like, you know, it can be boring during some parts, definitely. But I think the compelling narrative, well, I don't even know if I would say narrative, because it's just like these two main characters and lives as they go on, and I just thought that was more interesting during the second act. But I do think the second act can get boring during some parts. And this is a little bit of an issue, but after watching the movie, it doesn't bother me as much. But Margot Robbie's character as Sharon Tate didn't have much to do with our main characters for a good 3/4 of the movie. In fact, even less than that. And I won't go into it because I didn't want to give anything away, and it's kind of a sensitive topic, so that's all I'm going to talk about with her. Anyways, I was really excited for this movie, and I am so glad that a movie I was excited for didn't let me down. Who would have thought? And it ended up being a great time. I'll give Once Upon a Time in Hollywood an A-. I love this movie, and I can't wait to see what Tarantino does next. Anyways, before I end this video, one of my friends just started doing YouTube, so I was like, might as well help him out and give him a little bit of support, even though he got pissed off at me for eating a blueberry. So anyways, I'll just give you a sneak peek at his channel.
Alright, so what's up, guys? AI player here.
So if you're into that kind of stuff, then go check out his channel. It's a good time. He only did one video though, and his movie, or not movies, what? His videos are a lot different than mine, so I don't know if it's a little bit of a transition, but who cares? It's YouTube. You can do whatever you want. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Look forward to a Tarantino movie ranking very soon. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.